Hey there, welcome to WMCT Sports Wrap. We deliver the action from AMSA, Aspet Valley, and Marlboro High into your living room. I'm your host, Matt Bisaccio, and the past month has provided us with numerous highlights from senior nights as well as district playoff games. First, let's head over to the Yawkey Training Center where Brittany Baldessari was earlier this month for AMSA's Boys Basketball Senior Night.
It was AMSA Senior Night Thursday at the Special Olympics building. The 13-5 AMSA Eagles took on the 15-4 Bay Path Minutemen. The senior night ceremony was kicked off with lots of congratulations, flowers, hugs, and appreciation for all 6 talented seniors about to graduate this upcoming spring. Friends and family cheered loudly for both teams at the start of the first quarter. Bay Path forward Ben LaPointe nails a nice basket. LaPointe shows leadership by passing to Corey Cotton to add some more points to the scoreboard. With a nice block from senior Nick Gopal, the Eagles gain possession of the ball, and a sweet basket goes in from forward Andrew Meyer. Another solid basket from AMSA senior Kevin McCauley, and the score is 14-2 at the end of the first. The AMSA students showed lots of senior pride in the stands, with custom face cutouts and creating t-shirts with markers for their favorite players. AMSA coach Al Greeno, pep-talking his players, looks to take the lead in the second. Zach Marchese passes the ball to Nico Salino, who then gives it to Cooper Sanford for a basket. Hard-fought ball possession for Bay Path as they try to take the lead. Cam Hafner wins the ball, gives it to Dylan Cotton to add to the board. Hafner gets possession of the ball, but this time he sinks a basket himself. Gopal sinks a sweet basket for AMSA, and all that hard work from the Minutemen did not pay off. AMSA takes the lead 41-34 going into the third. AMSA senior Nick Gopal shined in the third with fancy footwork and baskets. Bay Path nailed a 3 and Corey Cotton sinked a free throw, resulting in a tie of 53-53 at the end of the third. Fans were riled up to see the outcome of the game. AMSA kicks off the fourth quarter, adding more points from Gopal as he continues to shine for AMSA. And the crowd goes wild. With 18 seconds left in the fourth, senior Mark Bibbo nails the 3, clinching the Colonial Athletics Small Division and winning the game 67-65. The boys celebrate their victory, and senior night commences with a solid end to their senior night.
The Eagles would finish the regular season 15-5, winning the Colonial League's small title. They were 10-1 at home, and they gave up a division-low 49.5 points per game. That helped them earn a 5 seed in the district playoffs, where they faced off against 12 seed West Boylston.
It was a packed crowd Tuesday night for the playoff game at Marlboro High School for the 15-5 AMSA Eagles matchup against the 9-9 West Boylston Lions. In the first quarter, sophomore forward Josh Lorerio puts points on the board. Captain Joseph Walker, after some fancy dribbling, passes the ball over to Captain Andrew Lebrecht for a basket. AMSA responds to the Lions' offense with points on the board from sophomore Zach Marchese, ending in a close score 9-6 going into the second. Captain Nico Cholino passes to Marchese, who sends it over to guard Cooper Sanford, and both teams continue to battle for control on the court. Lebrecht with ball possession passes over to junior guard Nathan Pohl for the 3. The second quarter wraps up with a sweet pass from Nick Gopal over to Marchese, and the boys slap hands to celebrate. Going into the third quarter, fans are very excited with the score tied at 26. Captain senior Mark Bibbo at the point sends it over to Marchese to add more points to the board. Marchese with a game-high 17 points. Junior Stephen Thomas sends a long pass over to Ayim Dagil, who then sends it to Walker. Nails it, and the crowd goes wild. Third quarter comes to an end with a close score of 39-37. AMSA with the lead. Captain Walker keeping it lively in the fourth, passing over to Thomas, who then sends it to Dagil, putting him at 16 points for the game so far. Fans were anxiously on their toes for a score of 53-53, with only 11 seconds left in the game. And boom, with 7 seconds left, Walker drills a nice pass over to Lorerio for the game-winner layup. And the crowd goes wild with a final score of 55-53, with the Lions winning the Central Mass D4 first-round game, and the season ends for AMSA.
Oh man, that's a tough way to have your season come to an end. But what a game. Congrats to the Eagles on a great season, and good luck to the seniors as they move on to bigger and better things. Now we'll take a look at the Lady Eagles. Well, one to be exact. Brittany Baldessari caught up with the AMSA senior Erin Gawaski. Britt?
Erin Gawaski is a 3-sport athlete at AMSA Charter School in Marlboro, Massachusetts. She talks about how she enjoys spending her free time with her friends and her family.
When I'm outside with my friends and family, we like to play games. We'll go play soccer, basketball, anything outside. We like to do a lot of yard games and frisbee, anything that there is we like to do. We ski. We try to make this point to go at least like 4 or 5 times every season.
Going to AMSA helped Erin discover her true passion for biology. She also discusses her plans for college and her high interest in genetic engineering.
When I went to AMSA, I didn't know that I liked science this much, but after being enrolled in it and taking such a big part of it, I realized how much I really do like math and science, and biology has been my favorite course by far. I plan to go to college at least 4 years, and I really want to go and get my master's after that. And I'm actually going into biomedical engineering, so that'll be a fun experience, I hope. So one of the things that's been propelled me through high school is the thesis and like the ethics behind genetic engineering and what that means for the human race in the future, like genetic babies, being able to foster, pick your own genes and everything like that intrigued me for so long, and I can't wait to go into it more in college.
Aside from being a dynamite student, Erin is also a 3-sport athlete at AMSA.
Basketball for 7 years, soccer for 7 years, and I picked up lacrosse my sophomore year, and I was a track athlete before that. So I've loved every single one, and I can't imagine having a season off. And it's been an awesome part of my high school experience. I like soccer the best, and if I would play one in college, it'd be soccer.
Erin discusses her plans for after college graduation and where she sees herself in the next 10 years.
I would love to go and work for a big company, big tech firm, and just hopefully work my way up the ladder and maybe even find my own someday. In a stable spot, having been able to travel and just settle down with a family eventually.
Thanks, Britt. What an athlete. Lacrosse, basketball, soccer, and she skis. Not to mention she wants to major in medical engineering. That's pretty impressive. What's also impressive was the Lady Eagles 2019 season. They finished 12-9 and were the 9th seed in the district playoffs. A couple of days before their big matchup with Douglas, we sat down with their head coach, Bob Manzello. Looking back on the season as a whole, what do you think is maybe your biggest strength so far?
I think we're getting better. I came in for a coach that was here, I think, 4 or 5 years before, who did a wonderful job. But, you know, his style might not be my style. So I think that, I think the girls have picked up my system, and I think they're getting better every day. We've played teams earlier in the year where we played much better the second time around. Might not have always led to wins, but I still see the improvement, which is exciting.
What about maybe your squad's biggest weakness?
I don't know, tough one. It's a tough one. I love these kids. I really don't see anything as a weakness. A weakness is something I don't think you can overcome. I think anything that we could work on and get better at, that they're able to do that. So I wouldn't say we have a weakness. I think our weakness would be that we weren't getting better or were not able to work on something and understand and do better with it.
Now, like you said, you replaced Dennis Limbo, who was here for a number of years.
Yes.
Was it difficult replacing somebody that had been here for so long? Was it difficult for them to kind of accept you, maybe personally?
I don't know. When I got into Nipmuc, I replaced the guy that was there for 35 years.
So this is a piece of cake, then.
Well, I wouldn't call it a piece of cake, but no, Dennis was well respected. The girls loved him, and yeah, you're replacing somebody who they were fond of. But I think they really warmed up to me. They are certainly joking around and saying things to me that they certainly wouldn't have done the first 4 weeks of practice. So, and I take that as a good thing. We're getting to know each other, but I think we're past that stage now, and now we're just all going for the common goal.
That's great. On Wednesday, you'll be taking on Douglas at Douglas in the 8-9 matchup in the first round. You haven't faced Douglas at all this year, but you have had some common opponents. How do you, as a coach, then prepare your club for a team that they haven't played before?
Well, obviously we have friends in the business, so I've had some of my friends. I reached out to them and got some scouting information. But Douglas is a solid team. They're in one of the best conferences in the area. You know, they have to play Sutton twice, Hopedale twice, Whitensville Christian twice. I mean, almost every team in their conference is in the districts also. So, you know, every night, day in, day out, they had tough games. But our conference is pretty tough too. I think we might have one of the best teams in D4 in Monty Tech, who we would end up playing next if we were able to be fortunate enough to beat Douglas. So, I think Douglas a great opponent. Looking through all of the scenarios, I think our game with Douglas is going to be one of the more exciting ones.
Anything in particular that Douglas does that may present an issue for your club?
They shoot the ball very well. They switch up defenses. They have a good big down low. They really mirror us pretty well. I would say that we're pretty close. We shoot the ball well. We have some very good bigs. It's going to be a good game.
Now, I mean, I've played high school sports myself. I'm sure you have too. And there's a big difference between regular season games and playoff games.
Yes.
There's a different intensity, but is that the same thing for a coach? Like in the days leading up to a playoff game, are you spending your time differently doing different things, or is the message to your club a little bit different? Is there like a big speech that you have prepared for them right before, or is it more like this is just another game on our schedule?
No, I think the girls know where we are. I think they know that, especially for my two seniors, Erin and Allison, they know that their next game could be their last game. I think they're great leaders. I think they'll convey that message. But I think the girls, I want them to go in there, play free. We'll go out, do the best we can, and we'll let it fall as it goes.
Unfortunately, the Lady Eagles came up just short against Douglas 38-32. Their season comes to an end, but we look forward to what the program has in store for us next season. We'll take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll head over to Marlboro High to check in on the Panthers. Stick around.
My hair.
Show me what it looks like to fight like a girl. Now throw like a girl.
Aw.
So do you think you just insulted your sister?
No. I mean, yeah, insulted girls, but not my sister.
My name is Dakota, and I'm 10 years old.
Show me what it looks like to run like a girl. Throw like a girl. Fight like a girl. What does it mean to you when I say run like a girl?
It means run fast as you can.
I play to be a role model in my neighborhood.
I play to be part of the team.
I play to be stronger than my brothers.
I play to channel my energy in a positive way.
I play because the field is where I shine. I play to win.
A concussion is a traumatic brain injury that affects how your brain works. Know the warning signs. Concussions don't just happen from landing on the ground. They can also happen from jarring contact with another person, like a base, top, or back spot. If you or one of your teammates has the symptoms of a concussion, tell your coach immediately. If symptoms show up after practice or a game, tell your parents. Cheering with a concussion is dangerous and can lead to a longer recovery time. A medical professional can diagnose a concussion and give you a timetable for how much rest you need. A second head injury while you have a concussion can be devastating, even life-threatening. So make sure you're fully recovered before returning. The sooner you see a doctor about a possible concussion, the sooner you can get on the path to recovery. For more information, visit cheersafe.org/concussions.
Welcome back to Sports Wrap. On our second stop across the city, we find ourselves at Marlboro High, where the boys hockey team took the ice at Naven Arena for their last home game of the season.
The Panthers look to close out the 2018-2019 season with a win against the Rockets of Auburn High. It wouldn't get off to a great start. With less than 5 minutes gone in the first, Auburn wins the faceoff in their attacking zone. Cam Dungy gains control and shuffles it over to Drew Darger, who gathers and fires a wrister past Ben Johnson to give the Rockets the lead. Johnson would settle down and limit the damage to just one early goal. Meanwhile, the Panthers' offense wasn't able to get much going on their end. Here on the 4-on-4, Ryan Cronin gets the shot on net. It's deflected by the Rocket defender. McCarthy tried to get it over to Farrell, but Mike Sosick covers it up to quell the threat and keep Marlboro down one after one. The second belonged to Marlboro's Jerry McCarthy. With 5 minutes left in the period, McCarthy finds the loose puck, hits Sosick with the fake, and beats him glove side to knot the game at 1. 3 minutes later, Kyle Carroll gets leveled and loses the puck, but Jerry is there and tries to go top shelf. The shot is initially deflected by Sosic, but it goes straight up and falls behind him. That would give Marlboro a 2-1 lead heading into the third. Early in the third, still up 2-1, the Panthers get a great opportunity to put this one away, but Sosic stones Hammond to keep Auburn in it. Then, later in the third, while Marlboro's on the power play, this pass is picked off by Darger. He races ahead, gains possession, finds Ryan Slade, and he beats Johnson's stick side to help earn his squad the 2-2 tie. Marlboro finishes the regular season 6-12-2.
After a season where they finished below 500 in conference play and missed out on the district playoffs, the Panthers will have to wait until next winter to show that they can take the next step. Now we'll unlace the skates and slip on some kicks as we head over to the Fieldhouse. Wins have been at a premium this season for the boys basketball team, so they look to improve on what's been a difficult year as they took on Leominster.
On Tuesday, February 5th, the Marlboro Panthers took on the Leominster Blue Devils at Marlboro High School. In the first quarter, senior Pedro Guerreri gets a basket and is excited for points on the board. Blue Devils senior Gavinsky Pierre-Louis nails a basket, and Marlboro High comes back with more points on the board from Guerreri, leaving the score at 13-6 going into the second quarter. The Blue Devils dominated the second quarter with a three-pointer from Trevor LeBlanc and another sweet three-pointer from freshman Derek Thomas, ending in a score of 40-13. The Panthers didn't back down, however, on the second half of the game and made a valiant effort at a comeback with junior Eric Rivera scoring a game-high of 22 points. Overall, the Blue Devils took the win 77-52.
That last pack came from our intern, Jasmine. Great job, Jazz. Now, the boys didn't have a great year, finishing last in Midwalk B with a 2-16 record. It would be easy to say that they had a bad year, but think about what they lost. Not only did they lose maybe the best player in school history in Chris Doherty, but they also had to endure losing fellow captains Kevin Short, Alex Santos, and Jordan Oliveira. Coach Bowman had his team playing hard. They just didn't have the depth to contend this year. I predict that this team makes great strides in the 2019-2020 season. Next, we turn to the Lady Panthers, who had themselves a really nice season. They were 13-6, 5-3 in league play, and qualified as a 7th seed in the district playoffs. Let's take a look at them on senior night as they look to avenge a loss they suffered earlier this year against the third-ranked Lady Chieftains of Neshoba.
On senior night over at the Fieldhouse, Marlboro honored its seniors, number 44, Allie Messina, number 45, Sierra Shanahan, and number 33, Nicole Galliak. The crowd showed their appreciation, but the number 6 Lady Panthers still had work to do as they took on number 3, Neshoba. Early on, Messina finds Capadonna, who would bank in the 3. Lucy would score the first 5 points for Marlboro. Then it's a senior connection as Shanahan spots Galliak for the triple. A few minutes later, Nicole attempts another 3. It doesn't fall, but look at that hustle play by the senior. You gotta love that effort. And right before the first quarter horn, Capadonna dishes it off to the young freshman Leanne Whittam, who rips the triple to give the home team a 16-11 lead. Neshoba scored the first 5 points of the second, but Galliak would get her team back on track. Here, she finds Alnamari, who nails the tray. A couple of possessions later, Nicole pounces on the loose ball. And to close out the half, she shows off the range. First, she comes off the screen, fires, and gets the members' bounce. Then, right before the half, with the shot clock running down, she shoots, poses, and sticks the 3. The bench and crowd went nuts, and Marlboro took a 6-point lead into the locker room. In the third, Marlboro would continue to play well. Here, Capadonna gets in the passing lane and streaks the other way for an easy 2. She'd finish with 13 points and 6 steals. Neshoba's Bree Donahue would keep her club in it as she would convert on 3 straight Chieftain baskets, including back-to-back drives to the bucket and this tough rebound in traffic where she'd finish between 3 defenders. But for the third straight quarter, Marlboro would score right before the buzzer. This time, it's Celine Alnamari who crosses up Donahue and gets the floater to fall. It would put the home team up 9 at the end of 3, and the Lady Panthers would go on to win by 7 on senior night, 53-46.
Congratulations to Allie, Kara, and Nicole on their big win. Now, Nicole Galliak is the heart and soul of the girls' basketball team. Her hustle and effort level rivals anyone I've seen in my time here in Marlboro, and she's the subject of our latest player profile.
Marlboro High senior Nicole Galliak is a force between the lines, on the pitch as well as the court. But after a few minutes, you learn she's also congenial and very sociable.
I think I'm a very active person. I like to always be doing stuff. I don't really like to stand at home and stay in bed for too long at least. I mean, I like my sleep. I really take a lot of pride in my friends and who I hang out with and who I surround myself with. I try to be really friendly with everyone, and I think I'm a pretty charismatic person, and I can get along with many people, and I work well in groups. I just really like to be around good people and to have good friends, like my friends on the team, like Kira and Lucy and all of them, and just have a good time with my friends.
Academically, she excels in math. Science, though, she's not so fond of.
I seem to do pretty well in maths. I'm taking AP statistics right now, and I'm doing fairly well. I didn't think it was going to go as well as it is, and it's going pretty good. I'm understanding the material, and I've always didn't mind math. Science isn't really my thing. I like math a lot because when things click, they click. Like the formulas, when everything gets put together and I get a nice answer, it's just nice. Like science, never really been like interested. It's a lot of work. Props to whoever does it.
Marlboro High has given her something that she doesn't feel she would have gotten anywhere else.
I think it really, I want to say, humbled me up a little, because I know a lot of people that go to private schools, and nothing against private schools, but they don't get the experience of the diversity and the different types and kinds of people that you have at public schools.
Being a leader means more to Nicole than just what happens today. It's also about what happens after she moves on.
Like to be the person that people look to, because I feel like when the going gets tough, I'm there and I know what I'm doing, and I want to be able to help people to, when I graduate, take my position and do just as good of a job and lead the team to titles and championships and everything like that. So being a leader this year and last year, for whatever, soccer, basketball, whatever it may be, it's just a nice feeling to have, to know that the underclassmen are looking up at you and to perform for them. It's all for the team, you know?
Which spot would you rather be in? Would you rather be the goalie with the pressure on you, or would you rather have the ball in your hands late in the game?
I think I'd rather be the goalie in this situation. I take pride in like my reaction and my instinct when it comes to being a goalie, and I just feel I could fly and let myself go and save the day when I need to.
After being apart from Coach Mahoney for a couple of seasons, Nicole is certainly glad to have him back.
He's a phenomenal guy. I love him. He's a great guy, really nice, and he was a great JV coach, but we weren't very good. But when he stopped coaching, I was pretty upset because he's athletic, he knows what he's doing, he knows what he's talking about. When I heard he was coming back for varsity this year, I was really excited because he's just a very light dude. Like, he just makes basketball fun again. Like, I want to win every game because he's not screaming at us in the huddles. He's not screaming at us for plays we messed up. He understands. Unlike a lot of guy coaches that coach girls, they don't understand girls. Even if we're losing by 20, Mahoney always keeps us cool.
Despite being focused on her senior year and her team's upcoming playoff games, she hasn't lost sight of her future and what's important.
I'm really excited and passionate about going to college and going to school and studying to get a good job for when I'm older. I want to go to school for business or some type of the direction of business, like marketing, management. I'm excited to just study and work it hard because I just want to be okay when I'm older, and I want to be financially good and give back to like my mom because she does so much for me now. I owe it to her. Like I love my mom and everything she does for me. I just want to like pay it back to her. So I'm focused on like doing great things after high school and beyond.
And to end all of our player profiles, we ask, where do you want to be in 10 years?
Wow. Hopefully I have a steady, nice paying job with a nice degree from UMass Amherst. And I hope to either be settling down or settled down with the love of my life, or so whoever comes along and makes me happy, and I'm excited to start a family and then the rest of my life.
Thanks to Nicole for taking the time, and good luck next year. Now let's check out how she and her teammates fared in their run in the district playoffs.
Lucy Capadonna and the 7th-seeded Lady Panthers hosted 10-seed Grafton at the Fieldhouse in the first round of the Central Mass playoffs. Lucy had it going early as she gets the pass from Alnamari, shows off the nice form, and knocks down the three. Then she uses the hesitation move, freezes the D, and blows past for an easy lay-in. She scored 10 in the opening quarter. Lucy carried the team offensively, but Nicole Galliak controlled the game defensively. On this play, she closes off the sideline, forcing the turnover, which led to another Capadonna basket. Then look how far she has to close out on this shot as she gets the block. Then later, she does a great job moving her feet. She anticipates the shot and gets another rejection, which turns into points on the other end. She finds senior Kara Shanahan, and she hits. Kiara scored 10 on the night, and Marlboro led by 12 after 1. With an 18-point lead to begin the second half, Coach Mahoney's squad continued to assert themselves as they demonstrated by Capadonna picking off this pass and taking it the other way for 2. A few possessions later, Wyndham spots Lucy on the wing. She buries another of her 4 threes. Then it's Galiak again who tosses her another shot. She was all over the place. In a finish off the third, Alamari gets it ahead to who else? Capadonna had a game-high 24 points, including this sweet reverse layup. Marlboro would go on to win by 29, 64-35. Will play Groton Dunstable quarterfinals. After taking out Grafton in round 1, the Lady Panthers look to upset the second-seeded Lady Crusaders of Groton Dunstable in the Central Mass quarterfinals. Groton struggled to hit shots early and Marlboro capitalized. Not sure if she called it here, but Galiak banks in the 3. Then Nicole drops the pass over the D. Wyndham takes her time and converts. Later, Wyndham kicks it to Francis, who swings it to Shanahan. Chiara rips the 3. And before the end of the first, Capadonna finds Galiak in transition. She pulls from deep and connects. Marlboro would take a 4-point lead after 1. The Lady Crusaders would start to see their shots fall in the second quarter, led by Hannah Wynn. Here, she steps back off the screen and nails the triple from well behind the line. Capadonna would get this baseline drive to go, but Groton kept the pressure on Marlboro. Wynn gets this pass ahead to Erickson, and she hits the baseline jumper, and Groton would come back to take a 6-point lead at the half. In the third, the home team would put the game away. Wynn finds the cutting mulligan for the easy 2. Then Emma Wilson picks off the pass, takes it the length of the floor, beats the D and finishes. Coach Mahoney would try to rally his girls, but the Lady Crusaders would prove to be too much. Mulligan puts the move on Wyndham on the block. She scored 13 on the night. And then it's Wynn who picks up one of her 6 steals and takes it the distance for 2 of her game-high 17 points. Marlboro's season comes to an end in the quarterfinals as they fall 59-32.
Obviously not the ending they were hoping for, but hats off to this year's team. You were a lot of fun to watch, and with Lucy, Celine, and Leanne coming back next season, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Mahoney had the Lady Panthers right back in the mix for the league title, as well as a deep playoff run. Now, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll take you over to Aspen Valley.
Let's go!
I touched it. I touched the ball before it went out, Coach.
Come on, Alex. The ref did not call that.
You gotta be kidding me, Alex.
It's the championship game. Talk to him, Coach.
I touched it. It's their ball.
Don't foul them when they inbound. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Nice going, Alex. Sorry, Coach.
Alex. Good call.
Sportsmanship. Pass it on.
Red.
I think everyone walks around with something that you can't see.
We all go through it. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are, man.
The best thing that I did was to come out and say, hey, look, I need some help.
Never be ashamed of wanting to be a better you, period.
I obviously have a stutter, it's no secret, and I went through the ups and the downs of being made fun of, from my words getting said back to me or getting called Stuttering Stanley, all that stuff. I leaned on my mom and dad as a kid. They helped me through a lot. I thought back to how far I've come since high school, when I didn't like to talk, I didn't like to speak in public unless I was on a playing field. Baseball allowed me to go out and not think about having to speak in public and not think about the social anxiety aspect of it, to be who I was and be who I wanted to be, and I'm out of my shell. I want kids to go be themselves and to enjoy their lives. Being who you want to be and being who you are is the most important thing in this world. Don't let anybody stop you from that.
MLB, ESPN, and X Games are teaming up to shred hate. Learn more at shredhate.org.
Welcome back. To close out the show, we'll finish our tour of the city over at Assabet Valley. The boys basketball program is having its second consecutive banner season, earning a share of the Colonial League large title with rival Worcester Tech. Their senior night was delayed a week due to snow, so it was pushed to their vocational tournament semifinal matchup with Greater Lowell.
It was a special night over at Aztec Gymnasium. First, it was senior night for the basketball team. Jerry McManus, Devin Selden, Matt Scanlon, Troy O'Connor, Nick Hudson, and Jeff Hunter were all recognized before the game. Second, it was a semifinal of the state vocational tournament. And third, we were on the cusp of history. With 2 minutes gone in the first quarter, Hunter gets the block on the defensive end that sets up this. Jeff goes baseline, doesn't get it to go on the first try, but sticks with it and finishes. And with that, Hunter becomes the second Aztec this season to eclipse 1,000 career points. Once the game started back up, the rest of the seniors got into the act. First, McManus hits this three from Curry territory. Then, Selden comes up with the steal. He eyes the rim, takes it aggressively to the basket, and lays it up for two. Later, McManus hits Hudson with the no-look dime, and Nick hits the 15-footer. He'd finish with 12. And to cap off the senior effort, O'Connor gets the feed from Selden, and Troy buries the tray to help give his club an 11-point lead after one. Only one Aztec senior hadn't scored in the first, but that quickly changed in the second. Jerry's three is off the mark, but it's rebounded by Dossis, and eventually it's Scanlon who puts it in. Now all the seniors were in the book. Later in the second, O'Connor is off the mark from distance, but Greater Lowell doesn't box out, and Hunter throws it down. Assabet would take a 10-point lead into the half. Now up 14 in the third, Jeff and Jerry run the pick and pop. Hunter rips another three to go up by 17. Hunter continued to dominate on both ends. Number 54 thought he had an easy putback, but Jeff tells him to get that shot out of here. McManus also had himself a night. Here, he takes it coast to coast and lays it up nicely. He scored 31. Greater Lowell did make a run to cut the lead to 5, but Hunter, who also dropped 31, stepped up and hit another big three to extend the lead, and the Aztecs went on to win by 13, 97-84.
Congratulations not only to Jeff on scoring his 1,000th career point, but also to Jerry, who accomplished the same feat earlier this year. 2 days later, they looked to repeat as state voc champs as they took on rival Worcester Tech.
Assabet looked to capture its second consecutive state vocational championship against the Eagles of Worcester Tech. The Eagles came out hot in the first. Jose Bonilla gets his club going as he hits the 17-footer. Then it's Andrew Enlow who drives and gets the teardrop to fall over Hunter. The Aztecs struggled to find their edge and at times looked flat early on. Enlow banks the jumper over McManus, and a few possessions later, it's Zaire Parrott who beats the Aztecs in transition, and Coach Corazino would have to call a timeout. Worcester Tech jumped out to an 18-7 lead and led 18-11 at the end of the first. The Aztecs would respond to begin the second. Here, Tyler Dossis lines up the three and drills it. Then Selden hits a couple of shots. First, he pulls up from distance, and then he steps into this mid-range shot. Assabet would come back to take a 23-22 lead midway through the quarter. But the Eagles would finish the quarter on a 13-2 run that would give them a 10-point lead headed into the break. The Aztecs would continue to fight as Jerry gets the floater to fall. But Worcester Tech, having played its third game in as many nights, just kept making shots, including this dagger from Bonilla in the corner. The Eagles go on to win this one, 72-68, to take the state vocational crown.
For the second time this season, the Aztecs come up just short en route to a tournament championship. However, the real competition was just getting started. After beating Millis in round one of the district playoffs 77-63, they faced off against the young Eagles of Bethany Christian Academy. Let's take a look.
3-seed Assabet Valley took on the 6-seeded Eagles of Bethany Christian in the district quarterfinals. It would be the last home game for this year's senior class at Aztec Gymnasium. Senior Jerry McManus controlled the game early on with his passing. On this one, he drives and floats it up to Jeff Hunter, and Jeff scores the easy basket. Then, Jerry fakes the pass to the corner and rifles it down low to Nick Hudson. A couple of minutes later on the break, McManus connects on the jump pass. Again, it's to Hudson. Nick had 8 in the first quarter. Then it's another lob from Jerry to Jeff. Jeff again takes his time and scores over the helpless D. The Aztec floor general only scored 4 in the first half, but this one was a beauty. He goes up and under with a fancy scoop shot off glass. And with just a couple of seconds left in the first, Jerry throws it up to the big man, who finishes with the jam to give his club a 25-12 lead after one. With the starters resting most of the second, the bench came in and played well. Here, Xavier Morales comes in, rips it away, and lays it in nicely. Then it's Morales who spots Dasis, and he rips the triple. And before the end of the half, Hunter surveys and spots Hudson underneath. Hudson was one of 4 Aztecs to finish in double figures, and the home team took a 35-19 lead into the break. The Eagles' lack of experience showed through in their shot selection all game, and Coach Corzini's club put the game away quickly in the third, where we were all treated to what could possibly be the top play of the year in Central Mass. Here's the call.
Up ahead to Hunter. It's showtime. Oh, my! Jeff Hunter with the 362-handed flush. You have got to be kidding me. Is this high school?
The Aztecs cruise to a 76-46 win and will play Hopedale for a spot in the district championship game.
That guy doing play-by-play was pretty good, huh? Anyway, that 360 by Jeff Hunter was absolutely ridiculous, and a memory that for anyone that was in attendance won't soon be forgotten. The win for Asbit earned them a trip to the district semifinal, where last year they faltered against 3-time defending champ Maynard. But before the big game, I had a chance to sit down with the team's seniors. So this year you guys started off the season 13-1. The only loss that you guys had was at the buzzer for the inaugural Aztec Holiday Classic on that buzzer beat, a 3-pointer. But after that, you guys kind of stumbled down the stretch. You guys only finished the season 3-3. How do you feel as though struggling towards the end of the season has helped you possibly now that you guys are in the playoffs?
I think we've learned a lot from it, and everybody on the team knows that we don't like to lose. So going forward, we're going to work our behinds off and win every game that we can and leave it all on the court and hope that it comes out the right way.
What about your upcoming opponent in Hopedale? Is there anything in particular that they do that may present a problem for you guys?
We don't think there's any problems. We think we can, they're gonna have things that are hard to guard and stuff, but we can solve it ourselves and play defense and just work hard and play our game.
Yeah. What type of an advantage do any of you guys think that you may have over them that'll help tomorrow night?
We play well as a team, and we've been in this situation before last year when we lost to Maynard, and I don't think any of the seniors who were there last year are going to let that happen again.
Cool. So, you guys have lost to Worcester Tech a couple of times this year in a tough game at their place, losing by 3 in overtime, and then just a couple of weeks ago in the vocational championship. Does losing to a team twice like that, and it's a rival of your guys, you guys have shared the Colonial League Large title with them a couple of years in a row now. Does it give you any extra motivation having lost to them a couple of times to want to make it to the district finals and beat them?
Oh yeah, we've always had them as our favorite team to play, and it always will be, and that's who we hope to see in the Central Mass final.
To catch the full-length interview with the AV seniors, head over to our Twitter page at WMCT Sports. Well, Worcester Tech dismantled Maynard in their district semifinal matchup. Now let's see if it'll be the Aztecs that'll be facing them for the Central Mass Championship.
The Aztecs took the floor at Clark University, looking to advance to the district finals after being knocked out in last year's semis by Maynard. Asbit was on fire early, jumping out to a 12-0 lead, capped off by this corner 3 from Nick Hudson. Then it's Hunter who gets in the passing lane, streaks down court, and finishes with the contact. And later in the first, Hunter finds Hudson. Nick can't get it to go, but Jeff cleans it up with the putback jam to help give the Aztecs a 12-point lead after 1. The Blue Raiders would show why they're the 2 seed in the second. Here, Driscoll kicks it out to Sam Morelli, and he floats it over Hunter for 2. Then Morelli does it himself. He absorbs the contact from Hunter, leans in, and banks in another. He led Hopedale with 18. And later, it's Toronto who spots Wilson in the corner on the break. The Blue Raiders cut the lead from 12-1 going into halftime. Let's fast forward to the fourth, where the Aztecs were up by 1 when Hunter seen Scanlon down low for the easy 2 to put Asbit up 3. A few minutes later, with Hopedale down 1, Morelli gets it at the top of the key and drills it to put his team up 2. Then, with under a minute to go, O'Connor drives the middle and lays it up to tie the game. After a defensive stop, AV calls timeout, and you wondered who'd take the big shot. With 15 seconds left, it's Jerry McManus who pulls and connects. The Aztecs led by 3. All they needed was just one more stop. Hopedale tried to run a play to get their leading scorer, Dan Liberatore, the ball. But Hunter reads it perfectly, steals the ball, gets fouled, and hits 2 free throws that seal the victory. The desperation shot at the buzzer is off target. Hunter grabs it, and the Aspet Valley Aztecs advance to the district finals, 62-57.
What a roller coaster of a game. To jump out to the big lead, just to have Hopedale come back to take the lead late, then Jerry and Jeff come up with the key plays late to send their team to the district finals.
The Aztecs took on the Eagles for the second time in 2 weeks. Worcester Tech took the last meeting in the Vote Championship, and this one would decide the Central Mass champion. Brendan Hamilton finds Zaire Parrott on the backdoor feed to put Worcester up early, but Aspet controlled the rest of the quarter. Jerry zips it over to Hudson in the corner for the 3. Then McManus drives in and finds room amongst the trees for his lone basket of the first half. Now check out this hustle play by Dawsons. He's trailing the play, but he makes the steal and then makes the awesome save which led to points on the other end. Hudson whips it to Troy O'Connor, and Troy buries the 3. Aspet would lead by 8 after 1. The Eagles would counter with a big second quarter. Jose Bonilla gets it at the top of the key and hits the mid-range bucket with 2 Aztecs draped all over it. Then Bonilla drops it off to Hamilton, who gets the hoop and the harm. AV would call a timeout, and Hunter would help to keep it close. First, he gets it inside and gets the and 1. Then Selden finds him underneath for the jam. But Worcester would take back the momentum. Parrott takes it to the basket in transition and gets the foul. Then it's Bonilla who follows suit and draws the blocking foul and gets the tough shot to go. The Eagles would lead by 7 at the half. The AV faithful weren't going to pack it in, and neither would their Aztecs. Hunter blows past Hamilton baseline and throws it down. Then Jerry shows off the arm and drops the dime over the D to Hudson for 2. And then McManus avoids the double team, drives, and fakes the defender into next week as he finishes off the sweet move. Aspet would cut the Eagle lead to just 3 heading into the 4th. Worcester came out and scored the first 5 points of the 4th on this 3 from Frederick Sayor, and then Parrott takes it himself in transition for 2 of his team-high 17 points. Coach Corazzini would try to rally his club one last time. McManus spots Hutter cutting to the basket, and Jeff gets the crowd right back into it. Later, it's McManus who Eurosteps past the D and lays it in again to pull the Aztecs back within 7. But the last 5 minutes, the Eagles would pull away. Here, Hamilton gets the entry pass and has a clear lane to the hoop. And to finish it off, Parrott alleys it off the backboard to Hamilton with a 2-handed throwdown. After an incredible 2-year run, the Aztecs fall in the Central Mass Championship as Worcester Tech comes out on top, 64-51.
That's going to do it for this month's edition of Sports Wrap. It was a great winter season, and I cannot wait to see what's in store for us this spring. For WMCT Sports, I'm Matt Bisaccio, and we'll see you next month.